the software is the Java SE software, that is Java Software Edition Development Kit. So you have to download like this. You go to Google and download, just type it Java. You can write Java SE. Clear. Then it will be, a link will be open. You go to the Java blog. So there will be different versions are there for Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and will be there. Just download your respective version. If you are using Windows 64, you can. If you are using Linux and all, same thing you can do. So Windows 64, just click it. Then the setup file will be installed for this like this. So this is the environment. After download that, when you open it, it will come like this. Then accept the license agreement. Then you can do it. So now what happened is that to download this software, you have to create a login ID. Clear. So you can take your Gmail ID or anything, make a login access. It is free only, but before download, initially it is free. Anyone can download it, but now they are maintaining a Gmail account details. Suppose you give your Gmail ID and login details, then a respective account will be created in that Oracle server. Depending upon this, you can easily download this version. JDK 8.9, 10 different versions are there. You try to download above JDK 8, okay, so that most of the program will be advanced one. Clear. Then you can install it. Clear. So after adding, this is the this is will come. Do you want to allow this, make it to the app changes? Yes. Then you can go to the setup file. So this will ask for the permission for setting that JDK development kit. So what is a development kit? Development kit is nothing but a combination of JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So where a JVM will be there, where you can execute the codes, scripting codes will be there, it can be executed. So all together is known as, if you see, all are JRE. This is the JRE, Java Runtime Environment, where when you compile or run the program, it requires a JRE environment. So then you can set the path in which drive you want to save it, in C, D. So preferably you save it in C drive. Clear. After storing this one, clear, you can enable the Java content to the browser. So it will take some times and it will be loaded. Clear. Then after setting the path, after this one, then you go to the C drive. Clear. Then go to system property. Clear. Then right click on the computer, then go to advanced, then environment variables. So this is the step where you have to set the path. Clear. What is that? System property, right click on the my computer and select properties, go to advanced environment variables. Clear. After this, this will become system properties, system restore, automatic, remote, general, like this. Go to advanced. If you go to advanced, clear, go to down, there is an environment variables. Just click on this type of will be generated. Clear. Then environment variables, create a new. Clear. When you create a new, then you have, it will come like this. When you create a new, you have to paste the path. Which path? That I have taken a C colon program data Oracle Java bin. You have to select it, then save it. Then the new path has been created. Clear. This is known as installing the Java as setting the path.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear. So once your path is created, everything is set, then you know how to check if Java is installed or not. You just write GAVAC. So this is a compiler. You already know the syntax for compiling Java C, that file name.java, what I have shown in the previous class. Just type it. So if you see, when you type it, a lot of options are coming. That means your Java compiler is successfully installed. Clear. See, all three are the path is already set, so the path specifying the user is already there. So path is also set, source path is there. So everything will be installed over there for Java compilation. So after this, you can check it. Next, sorry, where is it? After Java C, you just type Java. You can find the whole setup of Java has been installed. Okay. First one is you have to write Java C. If you see the compiler is installed, and if you see what other agents or what the runtime is involved or not, type just JAVA then enter. So it will display like this. If it is not correctly installed, some of the error will be not there. Actually, first you have to check the Java C. It is correct, then this one will be fine. Clear. This is the from where I have downloaded Oracle.com Technoworld Java. So depending upon this Java Software Edition, I have downloaded this one. So as I told that Java is in first developed by Sun Microsystem. Now it has been owned by the Oracle company. So everything comes under this. Now he is the owner of the Java system. Clear. So after finding this, if you find everything is okay, you have installed, then you create a folder anywhere. You create a folder anywhere. Just type it cd space where you suppose what I have created here. Suppose in a desktop I have created a folder called Java program. There I have listed all the Java programs over there. I've written and save it over there. Just a second, I'll show you. Screen is visible now. Just I have taken cd space. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I have to go to the particular folder where I have written the Java files. So what is that location? CE user in the desktop. I have created a Java program folder. Within that, all files are there. Clear. You write cd space which drive it is there, colon slash user slash Abhishek is the main name. Desktop will be there. Clear. Now I am into the folder. Correct or not? So now I have include in the folder. So in that folder, whatever the programs I've written, I can easily access and do the compilation and everything I can do. So what is the first program we have taken? Java C. So hello world, I think so. So in that, if you write Java C, yeah, this file is there. Clear. Then you can easily run any file, whatever the file name you have given, you have to just remember it, then you have to write. If that file name is not there, then such file will not exist and error will become. Yeah. So this is the first program in the previous class what I have done. So depending upon this, you can set up the file and go to the particular folder of execution of your Java files. You just try once again install if you have any doubt. Otherwise, I will show once again. Okay, now I will go to the, okay, that is data type. Data type means it tells out what is the type of the data you are using. That means a variable will be there. Suppose if write int x, that means x is an integer type variable. So data types are basically of two types. One is your primitive data type, another one is your non-primitive data type. If someone asks what is a data type, it tells about what type of the data is, and data are all two types in programming language. Basically, one is a primitive and non-primitive. So what are the primitive types? Primitive like int, integer, character, float, double, clear, long int, short int. So these are known as the primitive data types. So what are the non-primitive data types? Array, structure, linked list, stack. These are known as the non-primitive data types. So before executing the basic data type, so just go through this what we have gone through. So already I've discussed what is an object. So object will be have a state and behavior. Suppose a dog has its A dog has states: color, name, breed. These are the behaviors. Clear? So these are the, you can say these are breed as the, well, the sorry, the dog has states. What are the states will be there? It must have a color, you just must have a name over there, and which type of the breed will be there. Behavior is it will be barking, it will be having eating. So it is a combination of object over there. So an object is an instance of the class. Very, very important, this line, you can check it. An object is an instance of the classes. Clear? So, or you can say any real-time entity which having some meaningful existence is known as a object. So what is a class? Class is a collection of similar type of objects. Otherwise, you can say a class can be defined as a template or a blueprint that describes the behavior states that object of its type support. It means that if you are defining a class, the properties and the behavior of the class will be executed by the object only. So that's why this class that describes the behavior states of the object. In Java, methods are nothing but the function. What we are used in programming C function is same. The terminology changed here. That is known as method over there. So what is a method? Method is basically a behavior, or we can say it is a certain code of lines which is used to execute a particular task. Clear? So that is known as a method also. A class can contain many methods. Yes, you can write many methods in a class, and whenever you want to access it, just recall it. Clear? So writing of in order to method declaration, there are 4 ways of methodical declaration. So later on we'll go with return type, with return type with argument, without return type with argument. Like this, 4 ways are there for declaring a method over there. So next one is an instance variable. So instance variable, very, very important. Each object has its unique set of instance variable, and an object state is created by the value assigned to the instance variable. Instance variable means suppose a class will be there. Object creation. Whenever you create a object of a particular class, then an instance will be generated. Clear? We'll go one by one. So this is the first program what we have done. It is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the first program what we have previously executed. So already I told public is nothing but the access specifier. Clear? You have to maintain the access specifier. Then class is the keyword. Clear? So class is the keyword, and C must be small letter. Clear? And this is the any name followed by the class is known as the class name. You can write my first Java program, a demo test, anything you can write as a name. So that name will act as the class name over there, and the first letter must be capital one. Clear? So this is the syntax. This is a scenario of writing a class name. Clear? Next one is your this is the first program. If you want to write any comment statement, you can write this one like this. Clear? If you write like this line will not be compilation because it's just a reference you are writing. Next class for the class, one opening bracket will be there. As next one is your public static void main. So what is a public static void main? You already know, just like programming C, there must be a main method for execution of the program. Similarly, here also there must be a main method to execution. So here we have to follow public static. So public, you know, access specifier, and why it is known as static. Clear? So remember one thing, whenever you make a method as a static, clear, the object creation is not mandatory. Okay, so same program what I have done, I am just showing why I am doing. So this is the header file. You have to import space java.util.star. So this is a package program. So you have to first write the, before using any predefined packages, you have to define the package. So import is the keyword, java.util. Util is the utility package where all the system.out, system.in, scanner, everything, the predefined libraries will be mentioned here. So what I am telling, why I have written the public static void main. Suppose if you see here, I am not creating any object. Did I create any object? No, I have never created an object. So if I'll remove the static, what will happen for the timing? So what I have taken, same program, I have just removed the static keyword from the main method. Everything is same. The public void main. This is very important. String args. So here the main method is always take a array of character. So that's why it is a string args you want to take. So it is a predefined statement for your Java compiler. Whenever you take any public static void main method, every time it will take a string args as an argument over there. That means whatever the value you are going to operate inside the program will be stored in this args array. Then you can print it everywhere. So what I have done the changes, I have removed the static keyword and let's see what happened. Clear. Command prompt I have shared.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So previously it is executing hello world. The same thing I will just remove the static things.
Yes,
We'll see what will happen. Java C. Uh, so here compilation is done. When you write java.c, compilation is correct. But what is the error is when you go to the printing out statement, what is saying? The main method is not static in this class hello world. Please define the main method as public static void main. Everybody, the error is coming, it is visible. See, I have highlighted the error over there. Same program, I have removed the static keyword, then it will generating an error. What is that error? The main method is not a static one. In class hello world, please define the main method as a static. So if you go back and write the static over there, then it will be fine. Now you got the output. I have gone back to the notepad and made it static, then it is happening. So it says that whenever you make a main method, you have to do the static. Next, so for that, if your class name is there, clear, for the all the class name, the first letter should be an uppercase. So this is very important. Whatever the class name you are giving, it must be the uppercase first letter, then followed by several words. Just like if you see my first class, depending upon you can change it, but the first letter must be capital. Next one is method name. All method names will start from the lowercase. So you can, it is a, you start the method name should be lowercase. Clear. So example is, so public void my method name. So everywhere, whenever you define a variable, whenever you define a method, you must mention the access specifier, whether it is a public, private, or protected mode. Then void is nothing but the return type. What do you mean by void? No return type, null return type. Void means no return will be there and no parameter you are passing. So this is known as without return type with no argument. This is a way of defining a method. Clear. Suppose if I'll write here, public int, so this method is a integer type method. So here the return type is integer. That means this method define is with return type, no argument. Suppose if I'll pass here int a, clear, then this method will be suggest as with return type and with argument. Clear. Then suppose I will take, if you'll write a void this one, so that means without return type with argument. So there are four ways, I already told you now. So four ways of defining the method. Later on will go the exhibition of how many types we can define a method over there. Next, after writing this, how to save the file name. I already told you, whatever the class name you have given, save the file name as exactly the class name. So name of the program file should be exactly match with the class name. Suppose if you are maintaining the class hello world, the file name must be saved as hello world.java in that particular folder, and the extension will be .java. You can append it, clear? So that the my if you're writing the class name as my first Java program, then it will be saved as my first Java program over there, clear? So why are writing this public static void main? So Java program process starts from the main method, and which is a mandatory part of every Java program. So why you are writing static? When Java runtime starts, there is no object of the class present. That's why the main method has to be static, so that the JVM can load the class into the memory and call the main method. If the main method won't be static, then JVM will not be able to call it because there is no object of the class is present. Very, very important this one. When Java runtime starts, there is no object in the class present. Whenever static is not there, then the JVM will not be able to call the object of the particular class. So it will give an error that you have to make the main method as static. If you make it main method as static, then it will be executed. So everyone clear why you are writing static over there? Just then another one is your string args. Public static void means string args. So Java is a main method accepts a single argument that is known as string array, because inside you are writing public static void main, within bracket you are writing string args. So sometimes if you find some books like some book are writing like this, clear, some are writing like this, it is also correct. Both the way it is correct only. If you see if you go any book or any online things, some has written string args like this, some are someone will like this also, clear, it is also correct. So what is that? So it takes a command line argument. Very, very, very important. This is known as command line argument, by which we can input the parameter string args, and this command line argument is nothing but a string array. Clear? Or any doubt? This much any up to this any doubt you have? Only I am just small program. Why I am reading class name? How it should be the class name will be there? How should be the method name will be there? And how to save the file? And why we are writing starting it like this? Small things for executing a program. Next, if you see this a box is there. This box is nothing but the keywords. What are the keywords are used in the programming of Java? Clear. So keyword is nothing but there is a predefined meaning for a particular keyword. So this has been used. So class is used for class type. Clear. So if you see char used for character, int used for integer, double used for double variable, float used for floating point variable. Clear. So these are the certain keywords used in the programming of Java. Abstract, assert, boolean, break, byte, constant, class, character, catch, case, continue, default, do, double, else, for, go to statement, if, implements, import. First thing, import java.util.star. Import is a keyword. Then int, interface, clear, long, native, public, private, protected. So these are access specifier. Then package terms is there. New, return, short, static. So like this, many of the predefined keywords are used in the programming Java. So first, what are the keywords we are first initially you are going on? Import is a keyword. Import java.util.star. So Java is a package over there. Clear? So class we are using a predefined keyword over there. So when you write a class, the compiler will know that it is a class type. You are defining a class over there. So next one is the data types. I already told you what are the data types over there. So one is primitive data types. Primitive data types means I already told you data types are broadly classified into two types. My screen is visible. Screen is visible. PDF on, I have PDF unshared.
Yes, sir.
So this slide has been focused on the data type concepts and the operators. I'll show just, yeah. So these are the primitive data types. First one is your Boolean. So first data type is a Boolean. The value must be either it will be true or false. What is the size? It is a 1 bit. Clear? Data description is store true and false flags. That means just like if you check if you have taken a value is 3 and b value equals to 5. If I write the condition if b is greater than a, then make it a Boolean variable. If it is true, if the condition is satisfied, it makes a flag as true. Clear? So another data type is over there byte. BYTE byte. So what is the size is 8 bits. So already you know 1 byte is 8 bits. So what is the length will be there? 12 to 128. So byte value will be there. And the memory size will be 128 to 127. Data description over there. So next one is the character over there. So character here is 2 bytes. Clear? But in Java character in programming C, character is 1. Clear? So it stores a 16-bit Unicode character from 0 to this is the size of the character over there. Next one is your short. Short is also the size is 2 bytes. This is the example, you can say it is a 6 minus 14 2 3 4 6. So this is the range of your short minus 32768 to 32767. Clear? Then data type is your integer. Here the integer size is 4 bytes. Clear? So what is the range of the integer will be minus 2 1 4 7 4 8. So this is the range of an integer. Within this the integer value lies. Clear? Next one is your long int. So long int is a 8 byte. So the storage capacity will be like this minus 922233720. So a huge number. If you are taking a huge integer, it always advised to take a long integer. So next one is a float. You already know float means floating point variable. So the floating point variable also is 4 byte and the ranges from it this one 1.4023 into 10 to the power 45 to plus 38. So this is the range of the floating point number. So apart from this floating point, there is a double type is there. So double is a just like your integer, the advance is long int. Similarly float, the advance of that float is double. So it takes a maximum character of this one 4906 in 10 to the power minus 3242 10 to the power 308. So you can imagine the size of that double variable. So if you want to take a longer float value, it is always advisable to take a double value. So you very important, you just note down this primitive data type because it is very important for Java programming concept. You should know what are the data types and the descriptions. If you take a Boolean value, what will be the size? Example true false. Clear? It must act as a flag. Flag means 1 bit, either just a binary bit, either 1 or 0. 1 for true, 0 for false, the bit value. Similarly, the byte will be like 1 byte, character will be 2 bytes, short will be 2 bytes, but the ranges you have to make a note of it. You just by the programming goes on, you will aware of this ranges and all. If you take an integer, what will be the data description over there? If a long will be there, how many size will be there, and the storage integers from them. Then float will be there. What will be the size? What will be the storage capacity? Similarly for double, what will be that? This stores a positive and stores a positive or negative decimal numbers. The size will be like this. So these are the primitive data types and their range and their sizes. Very, very important. You have to remember this. Sometimes a 2 marks question will be asked. Depending upon this, uh, suppose a question will be come, state and explain different type of data types and its size and its memory size. Then you have only 2 marks question will become. So these are known as the primitive data types. So what are then the non-primitive data types? Non-primitive data types like array, clear, structure, like this structure, stack, linked list. These are known as the non-primitive data types. So primitive data is clear or any doubt? So now I will just give a small example. Suppose I will write to, I will take I'll write a program to read different type of data types and display it. So the next program I will write a program where I will read a character, where I will read a integer value, where I will read a double value and display it. Just a second. So what I have taken here. So I have to read different type of data types, then I have to store it, and then I have to display it. So what I have done, so I have taken import java.util.scanner. So in programming C, you are taking input as scanf statement or not. Printf is used for output and scanf is used for input. Similarly, in Java, there is no scanf method. Clear? But for printing, there is system.out println is there. So this is the display method. But for taking the input, there is a class, predefined class known as scanner class, SCANR. So if you see the first name is always a capital and followed by all letters are lowercase only. So such type will be occur. The compiler will know that this is a predefined class. So predefined scanner class. These all are present in system.in packages. So system.in is a package where scanner class are system.in the class over there where scanner class is present. So first step is I have to define class input all types. So I have taken a class name. You can take it any variable name. You can take it over there. Then I have taken public static void main string args. The main method I have taken. Clear? Then I have defined it. As you know, how many variable you want to use in the program, you have to first define it. The same thing also in Java. So first I have defined byte by. So by is a variable. The data type is a byte. So here integer int a. So a is a variable which is an integer type. So float b. So b is a variable of float type, and double d. D is a variable of double type, and s is a variable of string type. Just see the syntax of defining s is a capital over there. So here s is capital. So if you take small, it will generate an error. So the string data type s should be capital. Once again, I have taken by for byte, I have taken a for integer, I have taken b for float, I have taken d for double, and s for string. So I have defined 5 variables, 5 data types, 5 variables with 5 data types. My aim is to read different types of data type and to display it. Clear? So in order to take the input from the keyboard, So suppose I am not directly, I am not initializing here. Suppose if I int a equals to 5, I don't want to initialize like this. Suppose like b float b equals to 8.05 like this. So these are the float point variables. I don't want to initialize at the time of declaration. I want to input from the user end. That means through the keyboard I want to take the input, just like your scanf statement. So in order to take the input statement from the user side, this is the syntax: scanner in equals to new scanner system.in. Clear? So this is a predefined syntax. So what is a syntax? If you want to implement the scanner class, you have to write this one. We'll go why I'm writing this one in the next class. We'll go for the timing. You know this is a syntax is there. You have to first define a scanner. So scanner is a class name in. So it is a variable. Is not it is a variable and it will act as a object of the classes. So this is a scanner class. For this scanner class, in is the object. You can name it as sc also. You can name it as ab also. So here ab is the object. So in is the object, and new scanner, new is the operator. Clear? In programming C, for dynamic memory allocation, you are using what? Calloc and malloc, correct or not? So similarly in Java, for dynamic memory allocation, the keyword is new. So new is the operator, new is the keyword, and scanner, it is a method. So you can say it is a method of the scanner class where system.in is the object. Clear? So this syntax is mandatory. You have to write scanner in equals to new scanner in. Here, if you are taking here the object name as sc, you can write it system.in. Clear? Next one is your, so this is a sentence: system.out.println enter a string. So when you go to the output, it will ask the input a string. Clear? So when you write to the input string, it will be asked to store in the s. So in dot next line. So this is the predefined method to store the input string. Next line. Clear? And next one is you have to display it. So first line is used to input a string and display it. Next one, I have to read a byte variable. So enter a integer below 128. So in dot next byte. If you see, for character, it is in is the object for the scanner class. Next line is the method. If you want to you read a byte variable, next byte. B is capital. So this line is a predefined class. Clear? Similarly, byte is a predefined method over there to take the byte variable. So similarly, if you want to read an integer variable, it is a next int. So I must be capital over there. These are the predefined method to read the input from the user input. Similarly, if you want to read a floating point variable, in dot next float. Clear? If you want to read a double variable, in dot next double. Clear? So whatever the variable is there, for there the predefined method is there to store it. So what are there? If you take a character, it is inline. Clear? If you take a byte, it is in next byte. In is the object of the scanner class. Whatever the object will be you have created. Suppose if you create sc, then it will be sc dot next byte. So like this it will be there. So at the first line I have read a string over there. So next line is there. So next I have to read a byte variable, and this is the way to print the variable system.out.println your enter string. So whatever will be in the double quote will be displayed, and here plus s means the value is going to display over there. Then next one is your similarly for integer, I have taken the variable a, so plus a to display the value. So similarly b for float for the plus b, like this for the double number also plus d. So it is all to be displayed. This is the syntax of your system.out.println. Next, open close bracket and this one. So this is the small program where you have inputted all and display the all value. Just I'll show you the output also. Just a second. Yeah, screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I will write Java C. What is the file name was there? Just a second. I forgot the file name. What is that? The file name is input all types. Okay. My screen is visible. So I have written Java C input all types dot Java. So this is the file name for compilation. Then it is correct. So no error is coming.
Yes,
Next
sir.
one is Java space control V to execute. If I'll make execute, it will ask enter a string. Clear. So this is the implementation of a scanner class. So if you want to take from the user input, you have to take using of the scanner class. Then enter a string. Then you can take any value. Suppose I will print GMRIT. Will take an input string. So I have inputted a string GMRIT. It will display the entered string is GMRIT. It is going to display it. So the first string is displays. Next one is your byte by value. Select an integer number below 128. You take any value in between 128. So 98 I have taken. You have entered an integer 98. That means the byte value is going to display as 98. Next one is your integer value. You take a 10 value, it will display you entered an integer 10. Enter a floating number, you enter 25.5. So the floating number is this one. Then enter a double value, so 100.589. So you have entered a float value like this. If you see, this is the implementation of scanner class. From the user input you have to take it, just like your scanf statement you are using in programming C. Here everything comes under a predefined class, system.in, system.out. So if you want to implement the scanner class, it is mentioned in the system.in, and if you want to use a println class, it is present in the system.out class package. In that println is there. So you have entered, so you have taken the scanner class, take the input. Clear. If you are taking a integer value, the predefined method is object name dot next int, next, and I should be capital. Next int. If you take a float value, next float. If you want to read a double value, next double. If you want to read a next byte, so next byte over there. So clear or any doubt? So for the timing, just a small program inputting of different data types and display it. Small program. This is the second program of your type. Input, write a program where you can input different type of data types and display it. Clear or any doubt?